Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name's Shadow Wraith, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 lists that are fun to play. Now, fun to play, I mean you will enjoy playing it. It's not exactly the most competitive lists, but they're not bad. And also, it's pretty fun for your opponent to play against as well, I find. I've played all of these lists, and I've had great fun playing them. And well, my opponents have told me they've been fun to play against. So yeah, bear in mind, this is not for pure competitive play, okay? I usually go for the more competitive side of this game, but sometimes when you just want to mess about, here are a couple of lists that I've used and I've found absolutely fantastic. Okay, we'll jump straight in. In the number 5 slot, I have put the 9. So, this is just ring wraiths. Pure ring wraiths, okay? Now, they're not great, I'll give you that, but they're quite cool to play as, and I love the models, okay? So, of course, to lead this force, you're going to want the Big Daddy himself, the Witch King of Angmar, okay? Rocking in with Fight 5, Strength 4, Defense 8, 1 attack, 1 wound, absolutely horrendous, and Courage 6, and now, all these raids are weird. If you don't know how ring raids work, this is basically how they work with their Might, Will and Fate. You purchase them as upgrades, and basically, they cost 5 points each for the Witch King. So, if I want him to go from 0 might to 3, that'll be 15 points extra. So, it goes from 70 points to 85. Okay? So, he can have up to 3 might, he can have up to 20 will, and 3 fate, and all of them follow the same rules, 5 points per point of might, will, or fate. Okay, now, I'd probably suggest sticking him on a fell beast, if not, give him the Crown of Morgul. You can give him both if you want. If you're playing loads of points and you want to sink them all into the Witch King, go ahead, but remember, he is a 1 wound hero. So 1 lucky shot, and he's gone. And so, just so you know, if you put him to max might, will and fate, he will be 150 points. So for a fell beast, that's 50 points. 70 for an armoured fell beast. He's just defense 7 rather than 6. I mean, okay, that's not bad. But the Crown of Morgul. The Crown of Morgul basically increases your attack value to 3. Additionally, whilst wearing the crown, you can choose to reroll 1 dice when casting or resisting. Okay? That's pretty decent. It's not bad. I would probably just run him with the Crown of Morgul, or, I don't know. You can stick it with both. That's a pretty solid option. Sticking with both. It's quite fun. If he gets dismounted, which he probably will, if you're going against anything with like Nature's Wrath or anything like that. Yeah. Okay. Along with that, you can bring him in an armoured horse, give him the Morgul Blade, which is an instant kill blade, basically, once per battle. Yeah. So, I mean, he's good. That's quite a good combo with the Crown of Morgul, 3 attacks with instant kill. And then you can give him the 2-handed flail, which I probably wouldn't. Flails suck, in my opinion. It's only 5 points as well, but no. I'd probably just stick him with the Crown of Morgul, leave him at that, and stick him on a Fell Beast. Happy days, alright? The Ring Wraiths, however, they're exactly the same with the Might, Will, and Fate, okay? And they can go up to 2 Might, 14 will, and 2 fate. So maxed out ring wraith goes from 55 points to 110. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just depends how many points you're playing. If you're playing 1,000, squeeze as many as you want in. I definitely suggest giving the Witch King as much fate as you can. 3. Just go full 3. 100%. He's only got 1 wound. Give him 3. Okay. Might, I'll probably chuck him with 3 might, because he's the Witch King. And will, it's up to you. Depends how much you want to get into combat and how much you want to cast. But 15 is a pretty solid, mid-ground. The rest of the ring wraiths, I'll probably stick them all with 1 might. Definitely give them 1 fate at least. And then up their will to at least 10. Okay? And then go from there. If you're playing 1,000 points, just smash as many of them out as you can. Okay, so quickly moving on. We're going to jump in to the number 4 slot, which will be the Farharad, okay? And with this list, we're all about the camels, all about the impact hits. So, you're going to be wanting a Muhad King on a War Camel, and I'd fully upgrade him. So he goes from 70 points to 95, and that gives him the War Camel, which are amazing. I'll go over them in a second. Blowpipes and poison darts, a shield, and a war spear. And he's fight 5, strength 5. Oh, horrible. Defense 6 with the shield. 3 attacks, fantastic. 2 wounds, not bad. Courage 5, it's okay. 2 might, 2 will, and 1 fate. Okay, not bad. And then, with that, you bring as many Muhad Raiders as you can. And they've all got war camels, and I would definitely, 100%, give them all war spears for 1 point. So they go from 17 to 18 points a guy. You can blowpipes with poison darts if you want to bring them to 19 points. That works. 12-inch, strength 2, poison. So you're rerolling 1s to wound. Yeah, that's it. And they don't count towards bow limit. But the war camel. Now, basically, this is how they work. I've gone over them before in previous videos, but just in case you're jumping into on this video or you don't know how they work or whatever, or you've forgotten, you make a charge move into an enemy model, you stop, just remember how far you've gone, so you've got 3 inches or 4 inches to get to that model, remember that, you do 1 strength 4 hit on that model, if you kill it, you can carry on, you've still got 6 more inches. Charge into another model, strength 4 hit, if you kill it, you get to carry on, and so on until you either reach the end, so 10 inches, or you bump into something and it doesn't give way, so you don't kill them effectively. And if you hit into cavalry, both mount and rider take a strength 4 hit, and they're fantastic for knocking heroes off horses. Okay, charge into a hero, strength 4 hit on the horse, boom, you're probably going to kill it. If not, chuck 2 into it, because a dismounted hero is so much easier to kill than a mounted. Now, with them, you're going to want to bring a War Mimic of Farharad. Now, this one's 300 points, and it has... it's already got the Beastmaster Chieftain upgrade. I think that's it. Yeah. He can have Muhad Warriors in it and half trolls. So, yeah. I mean, I'd chuck a couple of Muhad Warriors, but you want it for the troll. You want it for the guy. You know, the big thing. Doing the trampling. Now, one thing you definitely want to bring with this Mimic is tusk weapons. So you do 4 strength 9 hits, I want to say. Yeah, 4 strength 9 hits. And basically how it works is it's got 8 inches. You move forward. If you get into base contact with an enemy model, they take 4 strength 9 hits. You're probably going to kill it. So you carry on until you reach the end of your movement, or you don't kill it. So it's like the camel, but 10 times better. And a lot more points. But it's so much fun. Because basically, the way around this is the good way to stop a Mimic is by chucking 1 chaff guy into it, or 1 or 2. And that negates its movement if the player who is chucking their chaff into this Mimic has priority. Then, what you do is you throw a couple of camels into them. Okay? So, you try and chuck 1, and you can, if they chuck just 1 orc into it, or 1 goblin, you can just clip them, do a strength 4 hit on them, hopefully kill them, and then ride off. And then the Mimic can move. Fantastic. Okay? But hopefully you've got some guys defending it, or whatever. Okay? So, that's that list. So, you want as many Muhad Raiders as you can. This Mimic, and a Muhad King on a War Camel with all the bells and whistles. Okay? If you need to chuck in a Muhad Tribesmaster in, because taking warbands, go for it, but you should be alright. Yeah, you should be alright. You've got a hero of Fortitude and a hero of Fortitude. Yeah, 2 heroes of Fortitude. So, happy days. Now, we're moving on to the number 3 slot, and this goes to Radagast's Alliance. This is probably the list I've used the most out of all these, and it does okay. What you want is Bjorn, okay? Because Bjorn is a monster. He's got 2 forms, basically. He's got his man form, which is 6-inch movement, fight 6, which is solid, strength 5, amazing, defense 5, 3 attacks, 3 wounds, courage 6, 3 might, 3 will, 3 fate. Fantastic, awesome hero. Quite expensive, but there's a reason he's expensive. He's got Burly and a 2-handed axe, so strength 5, plus 1 to wound. Yes, please. He's fearless, resistant to magic, and a woodland creature, and he is a skin changer. basically, at the start of your move phase, you roll a d6 on a 4+, and you can might it. You can replace this model with Bjorn in bear form. And Bear Bjorn the bear, is a beast, literally. He's movement 8, jumps up to fight 8. Oh, that's disgusting. He is defense 8, 3 attacks, 3 wounds, courage 6, and he's got the same might, will, and fate. Okay? He's got his own brutal power attack, which is crushing strength. And basically how that works is you roll to wound. So you roll a strength 10 hit, and if you wound the enemy, you get to roll again. And if you wound it, you get to roll again, and again, and again, until either you fail to wound or the model is dead. You can only pick one model for this, so it's really good at killing heroes. Really, really good. He's Berserk, so basically that means he has to charge if he can, but he may not use stand fast or heroic actions of other models, and other models may not use his whilst he's in bear form. So there is a downside to him being in the bear form. But yeah, that's it really. And this guy has killed Sauron, the big daddy himself. Okay, with the crushing strength. He just wounded, boom. Sauron did come back to life, but I broke the army, and it won me the game. It was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. Now, with these guys, you're going to want to bring something else. And the other thing you've got options to is you can bring Radagast. This is the fun list, so I wouldn't. I mean, you can. Yeah, it's up to you. I prefer Bjorn because he's more fun to play. But with the Great Eagles, they're 100 points, so it's nice and easy to make a good list. So if you're playing, 800 points or 1,000 points, whatever, 200 points on Bjorn, and then you can have the rest filled up by Eagles. Yeah, easy. 8 Eagles for 1,000 points. Doesn't sound a lot, but yeah, they're good. They are movement 3 inches, but they can fly, so 12-inch movement. Fight 7, strength 6, defense 8, 2 attacks, 3 wounds, courage 6, and they've got monstrous charge, and they cause terror. They are awesome, and I've used these guys against loads of armies. Mordor comes to mind. Rohan, fully mounted Rohan list, and these birds just hurled everything. It was fantastic. I absolutely loved my life. There's nothing better than knocking like 4 or 5 guys off their horses with a hurl and killing a couple of them as well. It's so much fun. Yeah, that's all I've got to say with Radagast Alliance. They're just a fun list to play, and you just zip all over the board. You can do whatever you want. Just try not to get bogged down. That's the problem. If you get bogged down, it's not good. And try and keep the Eagles kind of together so they can support each other. But other than that, crack at it. Just go kill stuff. The number 2 slot, however, goes to the Dark Denizens of Mirkwood. Now, this is such a wacky list, okay? Basically, it's spiders and bat swarms. So, with this list, I've played it quite a few times as well. The only hero we've got access to is the Spider Queen. 115 points. And she is fight 6. Well, she's movement 10, first of all. Fight 6. Strength 6, which is fantastic. Defense 4, which is absolutely horrendous. 2 attacks. 3 wounds. Courage 4. 3 might. 3 will. 0 fate. Okay? So she's not great, but she's not crap. She's got heroic strike and heroic defense. So, yeah, awesome. And at any point in her movement phase, she can expend her will to spawn broodlings. And they're really, really rubbish. But they're good at grabbing objectives and stuff like that. And trapping people. I've shot them out and they can trap people. It's quite good. They're movement 10. Fight 2. Strength 3. Defense 3. 1 attack. 1 wound. Courage 2. Absolutely rubbish. But, hey. They're cool. They're cool. Now, with this list, you're going to want basically the main bulk of your force to be giant spiders. You can't buy them anymore, but I've converted mine. So the Spider Fang Grots, the Spider Riders for Age of Sigmar, you lose the Goblin, a bit of green stuff I used to cover like the skulls and stuff that's on them, because their body's covered in like weird skull patterns. Covered it with green stuff and made it look like fur. So they hit big hairy spiders, and they work really well. All you have to do is bend their front legs in a little bit to fit on the cavalry size base. But yeah, works perfect. And they're 20 points each, and they're fantastic. They are movement 10, fight 4, which is pretty good, strength 5, fantastic, defense 3, rubbish, 2 attacks, good, 2 wounds, that's pretty solid, courage 3, not so good. They've got venomous fangs, so basically they've got poison, rerolling 1 to wound, swift movement, and terror. And now with these guys and the queen, oh, I forgot to mention, sorry, the queen has got venom, so she's rerolling all failed wounds. So she's a beast at killing stuff, absolute beast. But swift movement basically means you ignore terrain. You fly over difficult, you fly over hedges, you fly over everything. If you want to go over a building, you can. You just climb the vertical distance and things like that. You don't take any tests or anything like that. Literally, it's the quickest army out there. It's so good at grabbing objectives. It's so good at trapping, getting round enemies. It is awesome. Now with these guys, you're going to want to bring a few Mirkwood spiders for 20 points as well. They're not as good as combat just because they're fight 2 instead of fight 4, but they're still strength 5, defense 3, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, courage 2, which is slightly less. They're absolutely rubbish for courage. They've got poison fangs, swift movement, oh, and everything causes terror. Everything causes terror. Now, what it is they've got spider webs. A Mirkwood spider can shoot webs at its enemy. They're treated as a thrown weapon at range 8, which is awesome. If you hit, you don't roll to wound. Instead, the model suffers the effect of the paralysed magical power. And a hero hit by a spider's web can choose to expend a fate point in the same manner as if he suffered a wound in order to dodge the attack. So if it's successful, the target is not paralysed. These guys are awesome at negating heroes, as you can imagine, or just troops in general. Yeah. So if you can get one of these guys in, shoot a web, paralyse a hero, he can either choose to use his fate or not, or you can get multiples in. I mean, they hit on 5s, but still, you only need to hit and you paralyse them. So if you get a few of these in, perfect. And then, the best of all, in my opinion, is the bat swarms. So with the bat swarms, they are fight 1, strength 3, defense 3, 2 attacks, 4 wounds. Yeah, but that's not why you bring them. This is how you kill heroes or high fight models. Basically, they've got blinding swarm ability, and it halves the enemy model engaged in combat with them by rounding down. So it's half their fight value. So if you go into anything, any hero, and you've got one of these in, and your Spider Queen, you will outfight them, because you're fight 6. The highest fight in the game is fight 10, so even if they strike, they don't outfight you. Awesome. If they're paralysed on top of that, fantastic. Even better. That's just, yeah. I mean, you do with what you will with that list. Anything can work with this. It's so fun. Anyway, video's getting a bit long, so swiftly move on to number 1. This lot goes to Moria, and I call this the Monster Mash. Okay? So basically, your leader, I would probably go with the dragon, if you can get it. Obviously, if you're alright with proxying, go for it. If you've got the dragon model, he's quite hard to get because they don't do him anymore, but that doesn't matter. A lot of places let you proxy. And this guy's a machine. He's movement 6, fight 7, fantastic, strength 7, defense 7, 4 attacks, 7 wounds, courage 4, and he's got 3 might, 3 will, 3 fate. 250 points for this guy. And you can give him 2 upgrades. So you've got the choice of Breathe Fire, which is basically a 12-inch shot, which is a aura ability of 2 inches, and they all suffer strength 10 hit. Any models that suffer an unsaved wound, fate may still be taken. From Dragon's Fire Breath is automatically slain. So it's really good at killing heroes. Really, really good. If they fail fate. It's hard to pick. Then you've got Fly. So that just gives you the fly. Tough Hide. So you go up to defense 9 rather than 7. Oh, disgusting. And then you've got Worm Tongue. And you can cast Transfix or Compel. The 2 upgrades that I ran last time, which worked kind of well, was Fly, so that's 50 points, so he's up to 300, and Fire Breath. So he's now 350 points. His special rules, quickly, is Harbinger of Evil, so -1 courage for 12 inches, I think. Monstrous Charge, fantastic, knocking over cavalry. Resistant to magic, Survival Instinct, and Terror. Okay? And with him, I would definitely bring 2 Cave Drakes. This is for a 650 point list, okay? Cave Drakes are 150 points each, and that is for Movement 8, Fight 6, Strength 7, Defense 7, 4 attacks, 6 wounds, Courage 4, 1 might, 3 will, 1 fate. His special rules are Monstrous Charge, Mountain Dweller, that's okay. Resistant Magic is always good. Terror, Woodland Creature. They've got the Protect the Nest active ability, so at the start of the game, before any models have been deployed, you put a single 25mm nest marker. As long as it looks like a nest, you do get one within the pack. And you put it anywhere on the board. Whilst within 3 of the nest marker, the Cave Drake gains the Fearless special rule. So it's not great, but it's okay. He's got Gaping Maw. It's his brutal power attack. Instead of making a normal strike, the Cave Drake may select a man-sized or smaller model involved in the same fight and attempt to swallow whole. Roll a d6, and on a 3+, it's removed as a casualty. So you beat Boromir in a fight, you can swallow him. At fight 7. That's nuts. And you've got 2 of these bad boys. Oh, that's just, it's horrible. You can make a fate roll though, but still, I mean, it's horrible. You can just eat stuff. Now, the other options you can bring is the Watcher in the Water. He's 200 points. Pretty good, pretty tasty. He's movement 4, so he's not very quick, but in water he's much quicker. So yeah, he's got double movement, so he's movement 8 in water. And you get the Monstrous Charge special rule and the Dragged to the Depths brutal power attack. So basically, you roll a die on a 3+, you instantly kill the model. You can take fate against it, but that's it. He's got tentacles, so he's got shooting, and it's got range of 6, and it's strength 3, and it doesn't need in the way rolls. But if you hit, you drag him into base contact. It's pretty good. That's it, really. Yeah. And he can come on the board later on. I'm speeding through this because I'm aware of how long the video is. And quickly, he's fight 6, strength 6, defense 6, 6 attacks, 6 wounds, courage 3, 1 might, 5 will, and 1 fate. And yeah, that's it really. Oh, and if he's only got 3 wounds left, all his attacks gets reduced to 3. It's okay. He loses tentacles basically. But anyway, that's my fun list. Just thought I'd bring something fun out there, just because of all the doom and gloom that's been going around recently. Let me know what you think of the lists. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you want to be a cheeky chap and hit that like button, that would be fantastic. It would help my channel out massively. Or you could even subscribe. If you don't, never mind. I still hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.